Hello YouTube, this is the D.B.T Gamer Show, episode 79, part 2. Today I'm reviewing Lyoko for XANA for the Nintendo DS. Now if you haven't watched part 1 yet, you've missed quite a bit. I've already talked about the story, the graphics, the multiplayer, the controls, the gameplay, the music, and some of the good stuff about this game in part 1. So if you haven't watched part 1 yet, please watch that before you watch on so you don't get confused. Now let's pick up where I left off. I just thought I had to explain the battle system for the game. I talked about function point and attacks, powers, and items. Now I'm going to talk about the bosses and the enemies in the game. In the game, there are several bosses which you will face. One of the main bosses in this game, which you will face about 3 or 4 times, is Colossus. Colossus is a very big enemy in the Lyoko series. I was quite excited about fighting the guy in the game. Although when I fought the guy, I was rather disappointed. He's a very easy boss to beat, and there's one reason why. Jeremy invents this program as soon as you find the guy to freeze Colossus, and this program stops him from attacking most of the time, and this makes Colossus extremely easy, which is really annoying. If I want to fight a boss, I want the boss to go all out and show me his stuff. So I only gripe with the bosses. Colossus is too easy, but the other bosses are pretty hard, or at least a good challenge. But Colossus is too easy, but the other bosses are still good. Okay, now let me talk about some new stuff in the game. In the game, you can also set power-ups to upgrade your characters besides leveling up all the time. When you're out of Lyoko and you're in the factory area of the game, if you go to the laboratory phase, you can select you can buy items, you can look at your character's stats, you can view your functions, and you can also view your plugins. Plugins is a special item which you will get throughout the game, and these items can be used to upgrade your character. The plugins which you will get, you can get more attack power, more defense power, more HP, more DP. DP is basically your move points, or your magic points, whatever you want to call them. You got more transition, which makes your special moves more powerful. One that's almost essential in the game is one called Shield. It gives your character a shield, so the attacks from the enemies do less damage to you. You got scans for your powers, like you got plugins for your powers. One power Eileena has is the ability to scan enemies, and if you give her these scan plugins, she can scan the enemies and give you more information on them. There are a couple of weird plugins that you can get in the game. The weirdest ones I've found are Unknown 1, Unknown 2, Unknown 3 and Unknown 4. These plugins generally give you no data on what they will do to your character. So I have no idea what they do, so I just tend to stay with them in case anything bad happens. But other than that, most of the plugins are pretty good and they will help you beat the game. There is a limit to how many plugins that you can plug into your character, but if you level up high enough, you have plenty of space. And that's basically all the good stuff I can say about this game. Now let's go to the bad stuff. Okay, now the bad stuff about Lyoko for XANA. Well, there isn't really that much to have gripes about, but here's the bad stuff. Now, in the bad things that I can think of, in the game, when you're in the Lyoko world, there's no level maps. This is a kind of big problem, because when you're going through the world, you basically look at your character and you have to run around and basically memorize the entire area and figure out where you need to go. It'd be really helpful if the game factory company put a map in there, so it'll be a lot easier to get around. And the other bad thing about this game is that some of the special moves are hard to do. The special moves, I told you before, are the transitions move. and some of the transition moves can be really difficult to pull off. The touching target one works fine. The one that makes the ball bigger, fine. The hardest one is probably the rubbing the screen with your stylus. And it's very difficult for me to get that one to work. I do bad about this game is that there are no voices in the cutscenes. Now, this isn't really a bad thing, but I've seen some clips of the new Final Fantasy IV game, and that has voice acting in it. I've played Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles for the DS, and that has voice acting in it. So I don't see why they could put voice acting in this. The DS is more than capable. So that's kind of annoying. And the other thing about this game is it's extremely, really short. This game only lasts about 11 hours. It's a very, very short Code Lyoko game. It's even shorter than this one. I thought this was the shortest, but then I played this. This is probably the shortest Code Lyoko game out of the series. I know the game is only based on Season 4, but they really could have done a lot more with this. And it really upset me when I found out how short the game was. Anyway, let's rate Code Lyoko 4 XANA. Now, I give Code Lyoko 4 XANA, it's a really good game, and if you're a fan of the Code Lyoko series, it's definitely worth playing and definitely worth buying. So, my rating is 4 out of 5. It's a pretty good game, although it's extremely short. So, it gets a 4 out of 5. Now, my next review will be a new Nintendo 64 game. My next review will be Conker's Bad Fur Day for the Nintendo 64. But I'll save it for next time, YouTube. Until then, bye-bye.